Welcome back to another episode of Cats Out the Bag, Grief Edition. This is part two. If you haven't watched part one, please go back in the videos and watch that first because you won't know how we all are here and how we know each other now. Because I'm not saying it again.
And why we're crying.
And
all
why
the time.
and
Every
why
question.
and why the tissues are popped. Because they are. But yeah, this is kind of just a safe space. We all have dealt with grief in our own ways, and we're gonna explain how we dealt with it, how we do it. We're not telling you you have to do it this way or anything like that. This is just for people to feel safe enough to watch somebody going through something similar. And if you're not, just watch it anyway. So the next question is, did you feel anger? When did you feel any anger like surrounding the death or like your grief?
Mm,
And if you did, who or what it was it like directed towards?
myself. I was angry at myself. I was angry at myself for the last in-person conversation I had with him. I was like really mad at myself for a while. But I don't think I had any anger towards him. I'm sure my mom does. Only because again, being in the healthcare field, you just view it from like a very different place. Um, and I even felt like that towards your dad. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just I felt like it was such a battle here for both of them, right? Because in their own different diseases, um, it was just a really like unpeaceful battle every day on Earth, and their own guilt and anger came associated with that, with how they were affecting their loved ones. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, I just felt peace for him. I just was angry at myself. Like I feel like I could have did better in how I handled things when he was here. And I'm pissed at myself for that.
What about you?
I feel like I'm angry every day. Um, I hide it really well.
Do you?
I
No,
try
I'm
my
just
best.
kidding.
My husband won't agree with it. But, if it was directed towards anybody, it was definitely my sister and my husband because they're the two closest to me. So,
Right.
Yeah.
um, and probably it's hard because my mom and my dad got divorced when I was 12, so 22 years ago, whatever it is. If I know how to do math, 20 years ago. Um, And so even though like towards the end of her, days on earth, he would come and see her. And my mom was married to my stepdad, Mark, who passed away in May, almost 6 months to the day. I'm a little angry at him. Um, I know that he couldn't live without her, and not giving any details of his passing, but he couldn't live without her, and he just wanted to be with her. But I'm angry at him because he could at least, meet her grandchildren and like just be here. Like he has daughters and two of my stepsisters, so it was really traumatic and triggering also going through another funeral with the same people coming up to me and Tiana saying how sorry they are for mom and now Mark. So like I think my anger just like multiplied because it's like why the fuck like I just like why? That's all. That's really it. And I think I'm angry at God a lot too. And I'm not like I'm Catholic. I made all my sacraments. I'm not super religious. I'm more so spiritual, but I do believe in, a God, but whoever he is, wherever he is. But I'm angry at him. And I say it all the time like why her? Out of all fucking people, I could name a few that are
Mm-hmm.
terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And why her? So I'm angry at the world and God.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
I understand.
yeah.
You're allowed to be. Um, I'm also angry all the time. I'm angry when I see families of four girls. I'm angry when I was very angry at first with seeing not seeing pregnant people. That's not the
I was gonna say,
truth
don't be
for
mad
me.
at me right now.
No, oh my God, no. And that's why I'm saying that's not the
No, I know.
truth.
It
It's not.
triggers.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
like pregnant people. It was just like I was angry if I ever had to like be around it,
Of course.
like, and it wasn't a choice for me.
Of course.
I'm always angry. I don't know. Definitely not fair. I'm trying to word this really nicely. I was fucking tortured throughout my entire pregnancy with Isla. Like to the point of like bullying, and like those people deserve to lose their children, not me. Like
Mhm.
You were
that's
tortured
what
and
I'm
bullied?
Who was
really
bullying
angry.
you?
Who was-
Just like family and friends.
Oh,
Like
Oh,
fuck
no.
that.
fully like tortured to the point where like I blame that a lot. Like
Mhm.
a lot. If I always feel like if I wasn't so depressed and sad and like mixed up with all of the drama that was going on, like maybe things would be different and I would
Mhm.
have been able to, you know, sense something wrong. I worked a lot. I'm angry at the side hustle that I had because I didn't stop. You said you
Mhm.
know, everyone saw me working, you know, on my due date, past my due date, you know. So I'm really angry with that. I hold a lot of resentment for that. 99.9% of the reason why me and my husband are done with that. Like
I was
I
gonna
just
say, yeah.
Mhm.
I have so much resentment for that. Like I don't want to do your fucking party,
Mhm.
you know? I wish I never did a party day in my life.
You probably have like a lot of trauma, like even blowing up a balloon.
Yeah. I know I do.
Mhm.
I literally did an event the other day and I'm like, I fucking hate this. I'm like talking
Yeah.
to myself.
I
I'm
hate
like,
you and your
I'm like,
fucking
fuck-
christening.
fuck this, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So that's a lot of the reason why we're not doing it anymore. But yeah, I'm like, I work through anger with people. I work through anger with like that. I work through why me. I work through a lot of different uglies. I
Yeah.
call them the uglies.
Yeah. Well, fuck your bullies.
Fuck
One.
them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what they were saying to you, but fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
Like, who does things like that? I will never understand. People don't realize the things that they say are rude and mean and
Mhm.
nasty
Hurtful.
and hurtful.
That's facts.
And I hate that. I really do. I am still angry. Like, I still have moments of anger. I try not to be a really overly angry person. I don't really live in that. A lot of my anger was directed towards him in the beginning, just because I was just annoyed. Like, why couldn't he get better? I understood, obviously, because of I'm in the medical field, and but I was just like annoyed. Like, I was just angry at everybody. Like, even like certain family members, I was like, why aren't you helping me? But you know, they have their own lives, and like I'm not married, I don't have kids, and I'm like, I feel like the daughters do more sometimes than
Yeah.
the sons. There's nothing against you guys, I love you guys, but still, like, it was just like a different kind of pressure because I wanted to be there for my mom because she was going through a different kind of pain. And like, if you knew my parents, you knew like they were very much in love and like very much codependent, and it was like just a shitty situation. So I was angry at everyone. I was angry a lot at Northwell because, you know, my dad was there. He was there all the time. Like, there was nothing really they could have did about it, but like, he was there a month prior, and they were just about to, he was like really the last couple months before his death, he was like really like the worst he's ever been, and like he was always up and down, like on and off again, but like those last couple months he was really bad, like
he
not
have
stopping at
cirrhosis?
all. Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
like
I know that alcohol can
he always
trigger-
he always did.
Okay.
Like for years,
Mhm.
kinda. It was like a slow thing, and then like the last couple of months, he really was. There was no in between. But like a month prior, not even a month, maybe like around Christmas time, because he died January 16th of this year.
Okay.
He was in there, and they released him, and they were gonna give me home care, and like this whole like great treatment. So like he wouldn't have been able to drink nothing. Like
Yeah.
he was gonna get the medicine, like similar to the weight loss injections.
Mhm.
they had a whole thing prepared, but the lady never called me back, and I kept calling them, and then like weeks were going by, and like I kept like reaching out to them, and like I work there at Peconic, so they're like, "Oh, do you need support?" And like I actually said yes to the girl, and she was like, "Oh, we have all these home care things, and we could do all this stuff." And I was like, "Oh my god, this is awesome! Finally, I can," because I was his aide. Me and my other friend, like we would pay her to go there and take
Yeah.
care of him and like clean up after him and stuff, and like change his diapers, because in the end, like he was
Yeah.
a mess.
Yeah.
So, like after that last hospital visit, I was like, I need help. Like I can't really do this alone anymore, and like my back is already bad, and like I can't be his aide alone anymore. So like I was like, yeah, I do need your help. And she was like, okay, we'll do this thing. She never called me back. And then like he died, and a couple days later
called you?
she called me, the same girl called me, and she was like, hey, I just wanted to know, I just sent over the email with all the home care stuff.
Lost it.
Is your so like what steps do we want to take like for your dad? And I was like, well, you're too late, Stephanie, because my dad's fucking dead. And I said, maybe you could have been there to prevent it. And I lost it on this girl. I lost, because it was the same girl I talked to. And
Yeah.
I was like, and she
Months
was just quiet for a couple of minutes. And she was like, I'm so sorry. Like, is there anything like we could do for you? And I said, no, because you're going to call me and it's going to be too late. And I just hung up because you called me. She called me like during preparations. And I was like, hell no. Like, you called me too late. And now I'm mad at you. And I emailed like 400 people because I was like, I work here, and you guys did your best to help me. Like anytime he was there, I'm sure they took great care of him. But like the one time I actually said, I do need help. I do need your help, and I am going to be accepting like to the home care or anything. You let me down, and then called. So I was sorry to you, Steph. I'm sure you probably quit after that day, but that was a rough one, for sure.
I would be mad for you too.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'd
God.
be livid.
Really angry.
Do you feel like guilt around your anger?
Yeah, I feel more guilt than anger all the time. I call it the Latin guilt. If you're Spanish, you know that's just the first emotion you're taught when you're a kid. Latin guilt.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel guilty all the time. I feel like I could have been a better daughter. I feel like I could have reached out more. We kind of talked about that on the Father's Day episode. I feel like maybe I could have been there more for my mom and my sister. I feel guilt for living in New York. You know, it almost makes it feel like, because I don't have kids, so I can up and leave, that I'm choosing to stay here. But, you know, there's other things that come into play, you know. Well, money and salary and
Right.
the dynamics of the family changing now and things like that. I have guilt all the time.
Did anyone try and like rush you past your guilt, your grief?
So I listened to you guys share, and I handled it very differently. So I didn't post anything for a really long time.
Mhm.
Like, there probably are still people, if they don't watch the pod, that know me, that possibly don't even know that my dad died. I called everybody that had their own relationship with him, only because I felt like it was their right to know. Because I do feel like Katie's circle's way bigger. I have a very small circle. So, like, if you know me, you know my parents kind of thing. And you've been around them in your own capacity kind of thing. So I called everybody that I knew was going to take it rough in their own way. And then I just stopped talking about it to anybody. What was your original question?
Did anyone try and rush you past your grief?
Yeah, no, I wasn't rushed. I did have a lot of moments, how you said before, like, everybody's just acting like regular. Like, my world has stopped. My world has come to a complete halt, and it's crumbling. And my job at the time, like, I didn't share. I tried to go back way too soon. Couldn't handle it. Still didn't share. And, you know, people were coming to me with just, like, complaints about, like, menial shit. And in my head, I'm like, you have no idea how much my life just changed. Granted, I'm not sharing it with you. I don't want to share it with you. But, like, I definitely had some, like, anger and, like, weird feelings about that. Oh, and back to the anger thing. What the fuck is my condolences?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it pisses anybody else off. Like, I never want to hear that again. And I know it sounds so mean and so selfish, but like, that doesn't do shit for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I appreciate your condolences. Fucking read me the definition. I don't spell it like it used to just irk me.
Right.
Like, do you think that's enough?
No.
And granted, it's not their place, right? Like, I'm very self-aware. It's not their place to do anything. They're
Mhm.
just trying to be nice. But like,
Mhm.
I actually really do, like, I've gained a hatred for that word. Like, I actually don't say it anymore because of how much it used to just bother me. Oh, my condolences. What the fuck is a condolence? Or, is there anything I could do for you and your family? You don't mean that.
Right.
That's-
You
that's-
don't mean that.
That's my favorite.
I haven't showered. Are you going to come wash my ass? No, I'm being,
No, for
like,
real.
because that's how I show up for my people if they needed
Mhm.
me like that. So,
Mhm.
like, what do you mean for you and your family? What exactly, what's the extent of that?
Mhm.
And I get it. It's people trying to be nice. And a lot of people don't know how to handle death and grief and don't know what showing up for you in that capacity looks like. But, like, those are the things that I would get, and I just would be irked. But I also do think that my first emotion is anger because anger motivates me. And when I'm sad, it keeps me still. So any chance I had to be angry versus sad, I think I took it and clung to it because there was motion behind that.
Right.
That's
Right.
so fair.
If I'm sad, it's a dreary day. I'm in bed, I'm not eating. I will isolate from the world,
Mhm.
like disappear for a really long time. But if I'm angry, I'm moving.
That's so
So I don't actually, now that I say that out loud, I don't know if maybe that's why I was so easily irked by those,
Yeah.
nice, sweet messages because I just wanted to be angry. So then I wasn't still. But I still feel the same way towards it. Like, it's definitely changed my perspective on how other people handle grief and how I would want to speak to them. Right. Because what the fuck is a condolence?
Right. Yeah.
Hit me with the question.
So, did you experience anger surrounding your grief, and did anyone try and rush you in your grief?
I don't think I experienced anger. I was just angry about things. And I saw this, I guess it goes back to what you said. I saw this TikTok not too long ago and it said, I want people to reach out to me, but then again, I don't want to talk about it. But then she's all I want to talk about. And it's like really hard. So like I have my close friends and the way that they showed up for me is amazing and the only way that they know how to. But a part of me felt like I needed more, but I probably wouldn't have accepted it because I was so like I don't know, when I'm like in a mood, if I'm annoyed or something and it's not personal and I isolate myself because you don't want to talk to me because I'm going to be really mean to you and there's no reason for me to. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I would do it with my mom. She'd call me and be like, "Ma, I'm not in a good mood. You don't want, like, I don't want to be mean to you." And she'd be like, "Okay, talk to you later." And she'd hang up. Like, so that's just how I am. Like, if I'm not okay, I feel, I'm an empath. So I feel so many emotions from everywhere. So I think my anger was surrounding the life went on and the calls stopped, but the calls were fucking annoying. And the text stopped. But like, stop texting me every day, ask me how I am. How the fuck do you think I am? So it was like, I went back and forth all the time. Like, I wanted people to show me that love, and then I didn't want to receive it because I only wanted to receive hers. So my mom and I were very, very close. Like, that was my best friend. And me, my sister, and my mom were like this, the three of us all the time. So I think that's where my anger lied a lot. And I was just angry in general, just about her death. Like, she quit smoking 17 years ago. Why the fuck does she have lung cancer? But her mother had lung cancer and her brother had lung cancer. I quit smoking the minute I found out she had cancer. Would I love to smoke a Newport Short pack to the fuck right now? Yes, I would. But I won't. I won't pick it up. And I said on my deathbed, I'll fucking smoke a pack to my face. But I'm just angry in general at that. And I don't think anyone tried to rush me through it. But I think, like, some people don't get that, like, grief doesn't just go away. Like, I still grieve my Nonna that passed 3 years ago, the day before my birthday. Like, she was, like, my everything. And do I grieve about her? And my cousin Frankie, I have him fucking tattooed on me. He was, like, my brother. Like, grief just does not disappear. And it's my fucking mom. Like, that's the thing. Like, my cousin said to me the other day, I was like, I have like a little podcast that I do just for fun with my cousin and my friend. And they were like, let's do vlogs for it because we're not recording. And I said, okay. I'm like, I can't today. My eyes are puffy as hell. It was a day after my sonogram. And I realized I went to text my mom. She's like, what's wrong? First of all, no offense, Jess. Like, why ask me? Like, you know what's wrong. So I said, I just didn't have a good night. Like, I was crying about my mom and my eyes were puffy. And I told about the sonogram thing and everyone says it to me. I know she's not here, but she's with you all the time. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
I hate that one.
Shut up. I know she's right next to me, but that doesn't mean anything because I can't see her. And sometimes I can't feel her. And like, if you'd never lost your parent, your mom,
Mm-hmm.
don't tell me that because you have no idea how it feels until you feel it. And
Yeah.
like, it's not the same as an aunt, a grandma that was like a mom to you. It's not the same because I've lost both. So it's just like, that makes me angry. And I think I should probably I should probably tone back my anger, but I can't help it. I can't help it. And I think I will always be like this. And I feel bad I try my hardest. I don't come off as an angry person, but I think I have so many emotions and so much shit harbored inside of me that just, it comes out. And that's one thing I hate about it, but there's nothing I can do. I could just show up every day and do my best.
Right.
And while all that was happening and while my mom was sick, I worked for a business for 4 years and it went under and I stopped getting paid and I had a lawsuit against them. And that's why I opened up my own business. It happened. No one knew. And it happened like that. So it was like kind of go mode for me. So like people probably thought that I wasn't grieving or probably thought because I was like always like, here, I'm doing this. Like, no. Like I had to make my livelihood. And like my mom always said before she passed, like, you make me so proud how you stand up for yourself. And she said it to me all the time. So that's why I keep going because of her. Because if it wasn't for her, I would have crashed completely.
Right.
Completely. And that's why, like, you never know what's going on in someone's life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just be quiet. Just say, I'm here if you ever want to talk. I think that's almost exactly what I said to you when I saw your dad, like, the passing. I was just like, I'm here if you want to talk to me. Anything
Yeah.
anyone's going to say to you today is not going to mean shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think I said, like, those words. And I was like, truthfully, it sucks. But, like, I'm here. And that's all you need to say.
Actually, like everyone that's ever lost a parent, because I have a few friends now that have.
Same. Yeah.
They all said
I'd
the
like to
same
say-
exact thing.
Because
to me.
that's, if you don't, you know.
My friend David literally came up to me at the funeral, David Hughes,
Yeah.
and he like looked me in the eyes and he was like, "Today's not the worst fucking day of your life. Tomorrow is." And I was like, "Keep going."
Yeah. Yep.
I love you.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, though.
Yeah.
That is so true. I mean, my mom said to me very, very early on, you know, the lights are shining on this right now. And like all of the attention is on this. But at some point, the world keeps turning and people are going to start to go back to their lives. And you're going to be sitting here in this. And that's when, like, you need to, like, pick yourself up, essentially. She didn't say that, but she was like, that's when this is going to hit you.
I
And
call
I
that
was-
the second
yeah.
wave. That's what I felt like.
Yeah.
It was like a
Mhm.
second wave of different weird emotions.
Mhm.
Spotlight's on it for a minute. You know, you have to go through the services and, you know, people are still dwindling in there shortly after, but, you know, that at some point you're by yourself and you have to live the rest of your life in your grief.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's definitely a second wave is a really good, it's like a second death
Right.
almost. Yeah. I'm angry all the time. I think I said that, right? That was the question.
Mm-hmm.
Always angry.
And if anyone moved you, like tried to rush you.
No, I don't think anyone tries to rush me. I do feel very angry for people that like almost like forget that she existed, you know? People will say 3 girls all the time. And I'm like, you know, like I don't correct them, but my husband does. And like, that's
for him.
annoying sometimes. I get why they say it though, you know? And it's just another kind of like, it's almost like a bee sting every time someone says it. It's like, sting, 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 sting. People definitely, I think, try to rush my husband. And that's just like me observing it from the outside. I don't think he feels rushed, but I think people try to rush him. I think when people don't talk about her a lot, he feels like I could just see it in him.
Mhm.
You know, like I'm just like watching the man that I love like grieve, and I don't know, people don't talk to him about it.
That's not fair. Just because he's a
They
man, doesn't
exactly,
mean he
and they
doesn't
talk
have
to
those
me about it.
emotions.
You know, I have friends that'll talk to me.
He lost his daughter too.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that I don't think I let anyone rush me. I don't know. I would tell them shut the fuck up. But yeah, I think more for him.
Yeah. I was always angry. I mean, I like I said like 100 times in this episode, in the last episode, I'm still like very angry about it. I'm not really angry. I think I directed a lot of my anger towards Ben just because we live together.
Yeah.
You know, he did really amazing when my dad passed. You know, he was really there for me. And like very gentle. And if you know Ben, he is not gentle and not sweet really at all. And he's very like harsh kind of. But during like the first couple months, he was as sweet as pie. Like
You needed
truly,
that.
like very like sweet and like very sensitive to my feelings and how I was feeling. He still is like around the subject and stuff, but he got a lot of the brunt of my anger, and you know, so did my brothers because I was just like angry
Mhm.
or surrounding it. You know, I until like the very last day that my dad died, I was still very, very close with him. And because of his disease, you know, they had their own beefs with it.
Yeah.
So they were like more
Boundaries.
distant
Yeah.
Mm.
of course.
and like they set boundaries and stuff with him where I was his caretaker.
Yeah.
So it like hit me a lot more than it hit anyone else because I was just like, I wasted, but like so much of my life for
Was
the past couple of years went to
dedicated to him.
taking care of him, and it just all changed in such a sudden way. And you know, and a part of me kind of knew it was coming, but you know, I didn't want to accept that. I still don't accept that at all. But you know, there are people that did rush me, and they were like, you know, it's enough now. I got that a couple
Who the
times.
fuck said that?
Like, and I don't talk about it a lot. So like, when I would hear that, like, all right, you ready to go back to regular life? I got that too
Who the
because
fuck said
I'm
that to
mortified.
you?
random people would like
Stop it.
say
I-
those things, and like
no.
I would be like,
Whoa.
I'm gonna snap.
Yeah.
You should have
And then
snapped.
like a lot of people try and rush my mom,
Yeah.
No.
and she would, you know, she's like a very sensitive person, so like she would be like, am I crazy? Like, is this normal? I was like, this is normal. Like, they're an asshole for saying that to
They were
you.
married for like how many?
40 years.
Yeah. Like.
So I
what
was
the
like,
fuck?
this is, don't listen to them. Like, fuck them. Because she has a therapist too. So she was like, my therapist is saying, like, I can grieve at my own pace. I was like, listen to her.
Yeah.
Listen to Lisa. She's the one you gotta follow.
Let's go, Lisa.
Yeah, what?
What
Like,
the
I would
fuck?
just be blown away by like some of the things that like would come out of people's mouths, and like condolences, like certain things people would say in the first couple days, like, I know how you're feeling, but they didn't lose a parent,
No.
would really send me because I'd be like, you
Or
don't
they,
know
like,
how I'm
compare
feeling.
it to a
Like-
different type of
Yeah.
loss. You know,
I
like
can't
they're
imagine.
really. Oh, I can't imagine.
Imagine.
I got
I
that so
hate
many
that.
times by like close people, and I'm like,
yeah.
neither can I.
Right.
Like,
100%.
I'm also not imagining
I'm also
right
not
now.
I literally,
like you're so strong. I would be curled up in my bed. Like,
yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I got that all the time.
I
Like,
am
I'm-
curled up in my bed.
Yeah.
but
I'm sitting Shiva.
I'm
saying
Like, what?
I
just
do think
can't.
I was really bad though.
Mhm.
Prior to losing anyone in prior to losing my grandma, and I lost my grandma, and I lost my daughter within the same year, like within 9 months, literally, maybe less. I would have to count the months. But it was very, very close together. And prior to that, I never really had a really deep
Big
loss.
loss.
And I was probably horrible. Like I
Mhm.
really was. I probably said my condolences. I never knew like
The feeling.
the feel. I didn't
Mhm.
know the magnitude of what someone was dealing with, and I probably dealt with some of the people that have come across my path really, probably terribly.
Right.
Sorry.
No, but it might have been. It might have worked for them.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
don't
I mean?
know.
Like
I
someone
don't
might have
know.
found
Yeah.
comfort in those words.
Everyone's
Maybe.
different.
I didn't
Mhm.
know that I didn't until
Yeah, you don't know
It
until,
until
you know.
something switched in my head, because you know when I lost my grandmother, my nana, she was like a second mom to me, like
Mhm.
super close. Not comparing, but she was
Yeah.
my first really big loss.
Mhm.
And it was more similar along the lines of I took care of her
Mhm.
all the way up into the end. I'm sure I got all of those things. I
And
don't remember it
didn't hurt
triggering
you,
me
yeah.
the way it does now, but maybe round 2, after seeing round 1, Like, you didn't do anything for me and my family.
But
Why
listen,
are
I
you
think that-
saying that now?
I do think that there is hierarchies to grief. And I
Mhm.
think
Yeah.
we might have talked about this before.
Yeah.
Like, there's different hierarchy, there's different stages. Losing your dad, losing your mom, losing your grandma, losing your daughter, losing a daughter that was stillborn versus losing a daughter that's, you know, a child or a teenager or a young adult. Like, all of those are very
Big
different
difference. Mhm,
things.
mhm.
They're very different things.
Mhm.
So
Like-
maybe you'd feel it differently. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
like I certainly felt it differently between my grandmother, who was also sudden, but she was older,
Right.
right? And my daughter,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like,
Right.
it's definitely so maybe you feel it differently.
Yeah.
It's 100% different because literally the same as you. My grandfather died literally, and my dad and it was my dad's dad. Him
Mhm.
and him were like two peas in a pod. They were
Yeah.
very, very close. My grandpa died in, I think, March or April. I can't really remember. And then he died a
The
couple
next-
months later in January. So not even a full year later.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And we said like it a couple times. We were like, we knew, like, I knew once my grandpa died that my dad wasn't going to be like soon after, because there was no world in it where he wasn't with his dad.
Yeah.
And I understand because now I'm not with mine.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's like very different kind of hurt, because like I was so upset when I lost my grandpa. I was really close with him,
Of course.
and I just knew it was like a different kind of hurt because I knew that it was going to be bad for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew
Mhm.
how sad it made him and everybody else in my family, because he was really like a patriarch of the family.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then experiencing another loss that's like completely different, I was like thrown off my axis, because like I was like, I have so many best friends, and like before, where I would be like so sympathetic to every like thing that was going on in their life.
You're
Like
not
I would be
anymore.
there for anything you could call me day or
Mhm.
night. Now I don't give a fuck.
I'm the same way.
I don't care at all, and it
I
sucks.
feel so cold
because I feel bad that I am cold now, because I was not that person before. But now I'm
Mhm.
different, because I'm
It's-
like, my world has changed. And like I was even saying like not too long ago, I was like, I like felt like hard pain in something. Like I had like a back procedure, and I kept like repeating myself in my head like nothing hurts as bad as losing a parent.
Oh,
And I was
literally.
like, what am I, fucking schizophrenic? Now I'm talking to myself in my head.
It's true though.
No,
it's
that's
true.
fair.
It's so true.
Did you have any what if moments?
After?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that question. I try not to live with regrets, right? I don't want to get stuck on a repetitive record player kind of situation. I do. I don't regret it. I just wish I handled the situation differently. He had massive heart surgery, and me being in the medical field, I always, was there. I was his healthcare proxy. I was everything. And I remember I went into the hospital room, and him and my mom sat me down, and I'm older, right? So, and he asked to adopt me. And I was so mad. I was like really mad about it, because I was like, you have a massive health care, and now you want to adopt me? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been in my life since I was 7. The thoughts never crossed your mind before? Like, I was angry, and I said no. And his reasoning was like, well, I want to make sure, like, you and your sister are taken care of. Like, you're my kid, too. And I was like, I don't think my sister would ever fuck me over. And she was in the room, and I was like, would you fuck me over? Like, I was so mad. And she was like, no. And I feel like I robbed everybody of a very sweet, tender moment. And I would love to have his last name, like, so that's something I'm like, and I didn't even think about, I haven't thought about it in years until you just asked that question. So thanks for that. And then, like I said, my last conversation with him, he wasn't really taking care of himself. I probably would classify it as like failure to thrive and my mom's handicap. I just was very mad at him. Like, I feel like you're making me choose between my two parents, and you already know that I'm going to choose my mother any day over you. And I had to have a very like hard conversation with him because I needed him to get better, right? I thought that was the push that he needed. Um, and I took care of him. He was, he was in the ICU and we got him home and I regulated all his meds and set him up because don't forget I live in New York, so I had to leave. Um, so there was caring moments after that, but like I do think about that often that like it was a tough conversation for me and I felt like I had to have it as his kid. But like I hate that that was our last conversation. We spoke here and there, always, I love you, but like our last big conversation was like me being a fucking hard ass.
Mhm.
I mean, it goes totally with my personality, but
He needed that though.
I know, and I did it because I know he needed to hear it, and I really was hoping that that was like going to be the fire under his ass. But yeah, those are my two what ifs. Like, I should have just let that man adopt me. I don't know why I was so mad about it.
He's
I
probably
just
up
felt
there
like it was like
laughing.
too late,
Mhm.
like too late, motherfucker. Like now.
Mhm.
And yeah, my last combo. Nothing I can do. I know he knows that I loved him. Like I know. I
Of
don't
course.
ever worry about that, but it sucks.
I actually had my what if moment before she passed. Um, I don't know. I think I was like going to work and I like thought in my head, and like this is no disrespect to my stepdad. My stepdad was in my life for 15, almost 15 years. We had a rocky relationship, but I loved him and I loved, my stepsisters. Um, my mom was always I'll take like I'll fix him. And that's how I was until I met my husband, thank God. But she was always like that with my father and with him. Like she would always take care of them and never fully take care of herself. And so I said to her, I asked her one day, I said, I'm older now. I think I was like, it had to be like 2 years ago. I'm like, are you happy? And she was like, not all the time. Like I knew that they were having problems. And I'm just like, I thought to myself, like, what if you never got with Mark and you divorced dad? That's fine. You never got with Mark and you lived single and you didn't live in Shirley and you didn't drink the water from fucking Brookhaven, like all the things, like, what if, and I literally said to her, I was like, I think about it all the time, like, what if you quit smoking earlier and what if you didn't do this? Like, what if you stayed with dad? Like, would you have cancer? And like that ran through my head all the time. And it sounds so crazy now saying it out loud, but it ran through my head. Like, what if your life was different? Would you have ended up having cancer and passing away at 62? And I think that if, and it, like I said, it's no disrespect to my stepdad, but I think that if her life was different, and he was a mechanic and he worked in the garage a lot, and this is me not putting blame, but like, you never know. Fumes, I used to live there. That was my house. Fumes used to get into the house because the garage was attached. Like, I just think, like, if you never breathed in that shit, if you never did, like, I don't know, would you have gotten cancer? And could you have, like, stopped it all? And that's the what if I think of. I don't know if I think of anything else. And one fucked up thing, well, actually, one more thing. It's actually really fucked up. I've only said it to my sister and my husband and my therapist. Um, my father's an alcoholic. I love him to death, but I've been taking care of him since I'm 10 years old. That's why I'm not a drinker. And I love him, but he's put me through some shit. And he actually lived with me while my mom was sick. He had to stay with me. And it was really hard for me to look at the person that has taken care of me my whole life, who's a fucking saint, go through this shit when you should have.
Mhm.
And I feel like a piece of shit saying that, but that's how I feel. And like, I love my dad. I don't want him to die. Like, I have such a good relationship with him, but over the past couple of years, it's been tainted. And like, I'm a tough ass with him, even though I give in to him and like I take care of him and like, you know, I do everything for him when he should be doing it for me. I'm your daughter. But like, why her? Like, what if it was you? And like I think about that a lot, and it's so fucked up, and I feel like a terrible person thinking that. But like, why did you take the only person that did anything for me and left the person that puts me through hell?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a thought. Never said that out loud.
Safe space.
I know, and it's so fucked up. I love my dad to death. People will see me posting him like, "Hey, bitch."
Yeah.
No, like I love him to death, but like, you're a fucked up human, Franco. Like you
Mhm.
deserve to go through more shit. Like mom did not deserve that.
Mhm.
And to this day, my father regrets everything he ever did to her.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, because she was a fucking saint. Like, so that's my what if. It's a shitty one.
It's truthful.
I know.
Cat is out of the bag.
Guys, you're really fucking me up. I have what ifs every day. I think I've already talked about some of them, but obviously working all the time. What if? What if I wasn't so caught up with all of the things that were happening in my life at that time? You know, I was just like I've been like depressed before in my life, but like this was like a new level of depressed to the point where my mom literally had to call my OB and say she needs to come in. Like you need to take her in. And he looked at me, and he was my OB since I was 14. He was like, I've never seen you like this either. You know, um when we're talking about SSRIs, like there's like, you know, an outcome of is it worth your mental health? Is it, you know, is the risk worth the reward is what I'm trying to say. And like everyone in my life was like, you need this. And I wasn't like a believer in that. Like I like almost pride myself a little too much on mental toughness and taking it. Like I just needed to get through the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And it really was only just that. It was just a couple of weeks. And I like took the 5 milligram dose of fucking like, I don't even remember what it was called, Zoloft of some sort.
Mhm.
And I felt like a fucking $1,000,000 after it, actually. But I think about that. So what if, you know, and just everything that was happening in my life, like people who are past their due date should be laying down, you know, and I wasn't. I was not. I was so caught up in everything that didn't matter. So,
Yeah.
Don't ever feel that way because I've been I went to school to be a KSAC for drug abuse. I've never dealt with it, but people in my life, I take Xanax all the time because I need to. Right now I can't. I'm fucking pissed
Yeah.
because I could really fucking use it. But don't ever feel any type of way about it because that shit helps
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
when
know
you need it.
it was the smallest dose you could give somebody, and I was like, "Is this a placebo?"
That's
I'm
no,
good
it
right
is.
now.
If it takes rid of, like, I will take the smallest piece because it gets rid of my tightness in my chest.
That's what it
Mhm.
is. Yeah.
I won't
I've
take it
been-
any of the time. If I feel the tightness coming,
I've been the same dose for 4 years. That shit is a placebo at this point. I look at it and feel better. I'm like, let me just, and I still cut it in half. It's like fucking nothing.
yeah.
My husband's like,
Yeah.
Maris, you should probably like take the full thing. I'm like, no, it's fine. And
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
But going through that, don't ever feel because that depression hits you in a different way. And you need to feel better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like not capable of doing
Functioning,
life.
yeah.
Like I could not do
Mhm.
life.
You
I
have-
was
yeah.
just so, I don't know, you know, if it was like hormones plus all of like the outside influence of the shit, but I was not lifing. And everyone was like, you need to pick it the fuck up.
Mhm.
And you know, when people started intervening, like calling the doctor, you know, it's pretty bad, you know? And like no one outside of like my baby circle really knew that it was as bad as it was, you know? Everybody knew the fucking drama, but no one knew how it was affecting me. Like, even people that are super close to me to this day, I don't think they really know exactly how much it was affecting me
They
unless
can't.
you were like,
But they don't
yeah.
know
They
because they're not
can't, yeah.
you.
unless you were like literally watching me, like my husband was like picking me up off the fucking shower floor, you
They
know?
still wouldn't understand. That's the
Exactly,
Right.
yeah.
thing. They still
Mhm.
wouldn't. I can't understand for you.
Mhm.
I can understand to such a certain extent, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Yeah.
husband's the only one that can, but he can't even fully because you're the one who gave birth to your child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so feel safe in knowing that that's okay that no one realized that. Like only you did and your mom stood up
Mhm.
for you. And that's a big thing too.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
And as shitty as it is, like, that's like an experience that you can say to yourself that you and your daughter shared together.
Mm-hmm.
As shitty and as
Of
horrible as
course.
it is, that's your one thing that you guys got to have together.
Mm-hmm.
Your grief and her missing you. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You both miss each other so much that that's your one thing. And like, I would never want to let go of that either. If that was my one thing, I would never be able to grieve.
Mm-mm.
Like, that's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not your thing with
Yep.
her. Like, even back to the name thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, that's my thing with her.
Yep.
If I see her name somewhere,
yeah.
that's a sign for me,
Yeah,
not
not
for
you.
you.
I
But
think I always just jump to like the aftermath, right? So I'm hearing your story and my heart obviously hurts for you. I find this weird, and I don't want you to be offended, like comfort in the sense of the only life that she ever experienced was you taking care of her.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Was with you.
Yeah, but
She
part
was
of me feels
cared
like I
for.
could have like done better, you know?
Mhm.
Like I didn't take care of her. Like I could have, you know? And I was like so consumed with everything else.
Mhm.
And I didn't like it was my third baby, you know? I was like so passive, you know? Like
Mhm.
everything's going to be fine. I've had 2 babies before and everything was great, you know? You never think it's going to happen to you,
Of course.
you know? So I just was like trying to get to the point of just having her, and then I knew everything was gonna be better. And that day like never came, you know?
Mhm.
So I wish that I did take care of her because it was my only job, you know?
Yeah.
But there's a
That's guilt
yeah.
you feel.
Yeah.
She doesn't know that.
Yeah.
All she knows was that
She was
she
with her
cared
mommy.
for.
Yeah.
Like she'll never experience what you're experiencing, and you got to find comfort in that as a mom.
But is that true? Like that's
No.
what I think. Like your baby in you, in your womb, feels everything you feel. I hate that I did that to her. Like why was I so upset with shit that didn't matter?
Mhm.
Like I don't know if that's true.
I don't think that.
I don't think it's true
I
at
don't
all.
think it's true at
Because
all.
at the end of the day, she knew you better than anyone else
Yeah.
did. And even though you were feeling so bad on the outside, on the inside, she was like, "I'm with my mom."
Yeah.
Because even if I'm having the worst day, and you can understand this
Mhm.
more than anyone, your mom is your comfort.
Yep.
And she was inside of you. So
Mhm.
she knew the most, she knew that shell. She
Mhm.
was there. And even if you were saying on the outside, the same way our mothers do for us now, they never get to, they never show us their real pain.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
like, she didn't you felt. She only felt your love because you were keeping her alive and you were safe to her.
Mhm.
And even in the end, like now, she's still, even though you don't feel it, sees now what you're doing with the foundation and all of the legacy you're building in her name and everything that you're accomplishing that for her. You know what I mean? That's big. Like people that have been through similar situations could probably dream of doing that.
Of course.
And it's really like you're making moves, dude.
Trying.
And like you never know, if you would have taken it easy and it still happened, you would have still hated yourself for it. So
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think it's anything that you need to. You're always going to place blaming yourself, and I can't tell you not to. I'm going to. Shouldn't, because you
Mhm.
never know what could have happened, and that's something that you'll never find out, unfortunately. But you can't have that regret, because if you would have taken it easy and you didn't get upset and it still happened, you'd feel the same way, only probably worse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
So you
would
have to
had
try to-
nothing
yeah.
to blame or hold
Exactly.
on to.
So that's
Uh-huh.
the thing. You're blaming that, and you're probably finding a little bit of comfort in that, as shitty as it may sound, because you can place the blame on something. But try your best not to. That you don't blame yourself. It could have not been your fault at all.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's so many things to place
Of
fucking
course.
blame on with this situation.
Of
Right.
course.
So many people I can blame, so many myself included. So
I blame you, doctor.
that's so many people do. We talked about this. So many people do. I can't find it in me to blame him. I do
I'd be
and
the
I
first
don't.
person I blame.
It's
like
good
to
though,
and I
because if
don't.
you do, you're gonna
I
get
know.
like
I just know-
enraged with the anger.
I
So
just
it's
know
better
how
if you don't.
I just like know how I was the whole time. So I don't know.
You have to answer your question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say what if a lot. You know, I took care of my dad, and I obviously was supposed to be there to be with him that day. And I always think like, you know, I was there that Monday, and he was still alive, and he was like, kind of like coming out of his drunkenness, and he was very upset, and he was crying, and he had that picture that he had because he was, I guess, going through things in the house. And you know, I went there to like clean up the house a little bit like I normally do, and then you know, he was sitting there crying, and he was just like, I'm dying. And he said it on the Monday. And then I was like, no, you're fine. Like, I love you. And I remember like giving him like a hug and a kiss. And like now in my head, I'm like, why didn't I go back Tuesday or Wednesday? Like,
There's a
would he
reason.
still be alive if I went back? And then I was like, well, you were trying to give him tough love and not go as much because you wanted him to get better. And I knew he was going to get better. So like, I try not to hold on to that regret. Like, I really don't. I know if he's where he is now, he's healthy and he wouldn't want me to.
Mhm.
But like, you can't not think like I was doing so much and like, why didn't I go? If I would have just went back and like, or answered his call, he was a big caller. He called a lot and I didn't get to answer his call on the Tuesday he called me. And I was just like, damn, I wish he could call me now and he can't.
But there's a reason why you didn't go, Katie. Because he could have progressed and gotten worse, and he did not want you to see him like that or take care of him like that. That's how you have to think of it.
Right. I knew like I wasn't meant to be the one to
No,
find him. It
exactly.
was supposed to be his friend. And
100%.
it just sucks because I'm just especially as like a medical person, I'm like I did, but I know like if you knew me, like I did everything I possibly could.
Of course.
It became my life.
Mhm.
But it sucks. It really does suck. Like, and my next question is like, how did grief attack your day to day? And I feel like we all
Oh,
kind of
we-
answered
yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, yeah, that was covered.
Yeah.
It definitely, I guess I'll just answer mine now. It attacked my day to day. I didn't leave the house and I stopped a lot of the things I didn't pod anymore. I lost joy in my life because he was a big part of it. But how did it affect your day to day friendships, relationships?
What, the immediate?
Yeah, or still.
I don't know. So when it first happened and I had to break the news to the immediate people that I felt like should know, one of them was actually my sister's best friend from childhood, right? We're friends now because my sister and I are 10 years apart. So back then it was weird. There was nothing to go off of. But now that we're older, like I call him my friend as well.
Mhm.
But I also watched him grow up in my house. And love you, Jay, but I'm sharing your story. We knew he was gay before he was gay, right? And if you ever met my stepdad, he was very like, I don't even know how you would describe him. Like dry.
He reminded me of
sense
a soldier.
humor. Yeah,
Yeah.
like dry.
He'd be like, yes.
Like you wouldn't know if he liked you or not until all of a sudden he cracked a joke. And it wasn't ever dad jokes. It just was like a dry sense of humor joke. And he just started calling Jason his daughter. Like I don't know, I kid you not. This is like a perfect example. Like, I have 3 daughters, and
That's
we
so
all would be
funny.
like, But Jason found that very comforting, so he took it very hard. Like immediately in the middle of the night, and I was like, "Of course you could come over." So now that I'm thinking about it, I think the firstborn older sister shifted immediately for me, and I don't know if I ever, besides the moment alone, grieved with other people, if that makes sense. Because he came and he was so upset that I was still in shock because, I've been up all night now, haven't slept, thinking about my mom, my sister, and now he's falling apart and I'm just like, all right, I got to take care of him. But maybe it was a help. Maybe it helped me click into the mode I needed to be in to get things done
Right.
and to function. It was very bare minimal functioning. I still, to this day, am in shock. I literally didn't pay him any bill
Same.
for 2 months, and I don't know how that happened. Like I feel like when I came to, because I was working, I went back to work and everything like that. When I came to, when something got cut off, I was like,
No
What?
electric?
I was like, what happened here? And then I go and look, and I'm like,
No, it was the rent. Your rent was building up.
oh yeah, no, yeah, I got a notice they were gonna kick me out, and I was like, I've never,
Yeah.
like I was offended.
paid
I
the
was like,
bill.
excuse me. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I looked, not a single bill was paid. And I just was like, what did I do? Like, where did that money go? What did I do? And I couldn't tell you what I
You
did.
spaced.
I spaced,
You
completely
get like
spaced.
this like grief cloud
Yeah.
brain.
But
like this,
functioned,
Yeah.
right?
it's
So
like
got
that.
up and did a good job at work still.
Uh-huh.
And took care of other people's problems and was able to delegate at work,
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
You
just
clocked out, and then you were still clocked out of your head.
yeah.
Super grief brain.
So
Mhm.
my day to day got fucked up in that sense, but it's hard to say that because I still functioned on some level.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's normal.
No, it was just weird,
Yeah.
like very weird. Like I say, I checked out, and I absolutely did the first like week not leave the bed, and barely ate. And it wasn't because like that's how I handle stress. I just didn't want to do anything, if that made sense. Like I
Yeah.
just going to the kitchen to make something to eat was just so little.
Grief
down on the
comes with
list.
immense fatigue.
Yeah,
A big
no, it
thing
really
people don't
does.
tell you.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
comes with immense fatigue. Like I felt the tiredest I've ever felt in my life.
Yep.
Like your energy.
almost
I
just
felt
like
like
a
I had
drain. Sucked
fucking
outta you.
mono.
Yeah.
Like it's just sucked out of you. You don't have the energy to say anything or answer texts or do anything around like surrounding other people or anything. Like I didn't have to go back to work, but like day-to-day stuff I just didn't want to do it anymore. But like the same for you, like having to be there for my mom pushed me and it helped me like kind of get out of my own head for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, I have to do this, this, and this for her. I have to help her and be there for her. And it kind of helped me like keep moving my 2 feet because if not, they felt like weights.
I do think there's a difference though between grief and depression.
Oh yeah.
And I think that
Big one.
how we were talking about rushing people through their grief. I think there's a difference because I think I had a conversation with you. I was very worried about Katie, and I'm kind of glad that she clicked to anger because I know that anger can be motivating. I was very worried for Katie that she was going to be drowning in guilt. And that was
Mm.
my biggest concern for my friend on how she was handling her grief because that shit keeps you still, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because she wasn't working and because there wasn't really anything to continue on for in the sense of like responsibilities and accountability, I think I did say I might have been one of those people that you were like, I hate that you said that, but I think I did approach the topic of like, okay, when is enough that someone should check in on a different level, like how your
That's
mom
fair.
called the doctor. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, because we could sit here and say, don't rush my grief, and everybody grieves differently, but there still has to be accountability in the sense of, okay, it's a huge loss, and I need you to feel safe to continue to grieve, but the same way like the world goes on and how we have anger and it's a second wave, like we still have to function because otherwise you're a piece of you're letting a piece of yourself die with that person.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Fair.
think that that's a fine line, and only the people that know you best can determine, is that grief or is that depression?
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Definitely.
I think I don't know how I get there. I put on a really good face and I go to work. I had no choice. I just opened up my business. So 2 weeks after my mom passed, I went back to work. But it was really hard because I had to relive it over and over again with my clients. But they were really good to me, so that was really hard. But I'm very blessed in the fact that I make my own schedule. I work 2 days a week. So like I was just like, okay, let me just get this over with. I got to make money to keep a roof over our heads, but I think I feel depressed. I've been depressed many times before. I'm very well aware of my depression. I'm very well aware when I get into that hole, like I know how to get myself out of it. I'm not going to go so deep where like it's scary for other people. Like I just kind of need to like feel, and then when I'm done feeling, I'll be fine. But I think what hit me the most of both grief and depression was when and it sounds really fucked up, but I guess you don't know until you're in the situation. When I found out I was pregnant, my husband and I have been trying, and we just bought a house, and I found out, and I was super happy. And then for the first 2 months of my pregnancy, I even went to my OB. I was depressed, and I know hormones have like a play in that, but I was so depressed, and I was like, my grief was heavy, and I was just really depressed. I did not move. So all the things that I think I should have done after my mom passed, instead of go, because that's all I could do, was what I did when I found out I was pregnant. I laid in bed every single day. I didn't move. I did not go to work. Like I told people, I'm in my early first trimester. I don't feel good. Like I'm not coming in. And I was okay. I was just like fatigued as fuck. And I just was really depressed. I remember going to my first OB appointment was my 6 weeks. I was 6.5 weeks, and I was just like, I have anxiety. I just want to come. I want to see that everything's okay. It was on my mom's birthday, July 10th. And when they said it to me on the phone, I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Because, like, that was a sign. And I'm sitting there in the room, and my sister and my husband are sitting right there with me. And she looked at me. She's like, are you okay? And she's my OB. And I'm like, no. I was like, I'm so depressed. Like, I feel so blessed that I'm pregnant, and I want this baby. But I'm so depressed. And I don't know if it's because of my mom. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the hormones. So I think going through that was exactly how I think I waited so long to experience the rot, the depression at the same time, and like not doing anything, not leaving my bed, not anything, that I did that then. And I kind of wish I didn't, because like that's supposed to be like a happy time. But it wasn't, because I didn't have her to tell her. So now instead of like saying, like, you know, getting a onesie and like, you know, Nonna of 2, I'm going to get one that says like handpicked from heaven from my Nonna. So like, I think that's like really what makes me so upset. And especially now being pregnant and not having your mom. Like, my sister was so lucky to have her. Like, you know, my niece is 1 year old and my mom passed. My sister gave birth and my mom was in the hospital, and she couldn't hold her because she couldn't move her arms. She didn't get to love her child like she should have. And my mom got robbed of it. And so like it just makes me even more upset. And like my sister's like, you know, she doesn't ever like, I know how you feel. Because I'm like, you got to tell mom. You got to give birth and have mom see your baby. And then my medium tells me in January, she's like, you're going to have life in you in June. I found out I was pregnant June 26th. Everything she's ever told me has come true. I fucking love her. You know, I was like, I will give you she did Reiki on my mom. She lives in Queens. She did Reiki on my mom for free because she loved her so much for the last month of her life and came twice a week. And I was like, this person, like, I adore her. But she said to me in January, it was the first reading we had for my mom. She said to me, she's like, because Tiana's like, when is she going to have kids? I'm like, chill the fuck out, bitch. Like, wait a minute. Like, can we buy a house first? And she said, you'll have life in you in June. I said, okay. And then she said to me, your mom's holding your baby right now. And she has the baby. And when the baby comes out, check the back of their neck for stork bites. That's kisses for mommy. And I just like lost it. And now being pregnant, I'm like, the fuck? Like, so I think my grief came out more so, and my depression came out more so now than it ever has. And I don't think it's ever going to go away. And everyone's like, mom sent you that baby. Like, of course. But, like, it's just, like, doesn't make me feel any better.
Right.
Like, okay, cool.
Why didn't she come with her?
Yeah, like, why didn't you come out with, like, what? And, like, everyone's like, you know, your mom will be in that baby. Oh, okay, cool. I hope she does, because I have the traits of my mother. So if they're anything like me, it's going to be just like it. But it's, like, not the same. So I think that it's happening now, and I wish it would have happened earlier. But there's nothing I can do. Jess hates that I go before.
Yeah.
Crazy. The question was, how does this affect every day?
Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Hard. Fucking, it just affects every day. I don't know how. Just always does. How can I answer this insightfully? Is that a word? I would just like always had really like a lot of support around me, even at work, you know? So I went back to work really, really fast too. It was like 3 weeks after, which obviously you're supposed to take at least 6 to 8, right? So I went back after 3 weeks, which I don't like suggest people do, but that's what I needed to do. And like being around people that supported me, like that helped me. So I think that I've just always had a lot of support that I never thought that I did have, you know? So even on the hard days, I'm like really, really loved. So
I love that.
Yeah.
That was so nice.
I could agree with that. I could agree with that.
That was
No.
such a nice statement.
it's the fact.
And it's hard
so.
to say that because not a lot of people can.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
feel that sometimes it doesn't matter, but it's nice to know that it's there.
Yeah. I would be much different person if I didn't have that.
Mhm.
I would be scary.
Mhm.
But no, I mean, my friends are incredible. My family's incredible. My job, like, there's no one better. There's no job that could have done it better. The people, my bosses, my coworkers, like, just if my every day looked a little different, I would be a much scarier person.
Hmm. I think I have to agree with that because I was kind of like in space, like how you were saying, there's like grief brain.
Mm-hmm.
And even now, like I feel coming back to reality a little bit more, but like I was very like, just I felt like I was here and everyone else was here, and no one could fix what's going on with you.
No.
And that was a problem. Like I'm not a problem that you can just fix or
Mhm.
rush or
Mm-hmm.
do anything. And everyone kind of really gave me my space to do what I need to do. Um, and it just sucks. Like it affects your day to day. I feel like maybe for the rest of your life, it just gets easier to forget a little bit easier. Like I feel like I forget more often, and then I will get reminded of it, and then I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck,
It's a bee sting.
yeah. And it's just every day. But like sometimes you'll have a really good week where it's like nothing, and you're moving on with your life, and you're doing great, and then like you say, like monumental moments. Like I'll think, like when me and Ben go to get married, I'm not gonna have anyone to walk me down the aisle.
That kills
Sucks.
me. That sends me every time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like my biggest thing because it just sucks.
Mhm.
Like my whole day, it makes me not even want to go through with anything like that because
Mhm.
it's not. If you know me, I've had a wedding book since I was like a little kid. So like my whole
With a lot of edits as she gets older, she goes in and crosses
not
things
that
out.
one.
And the wedding party's changed 1,000 times.
it has, and
But I think that he would want you to have that.
yeah. So now I'm like, just it sucks.
I know.
It really like it sucks. But this is where part 2 ends.
On such a high note.
Yeah. We love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying and sitting in our safe space with us. We'll be back with another one.
I'm using this